Hello everyone, welcome back to the POPSICLE KNIGHT channel. My name is Joseph and today we'll be talking about Banette from Vivid Voltage. But before that, I want to first thank you for taking the time to check out this video. Please leave a like to this video, hit that thumbs up. This actually helps me out with the YouTube algorithm getting this video to more viewers like you. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and feel free to share this content. So let's get started. So this is an original design. No one else has ever showcased this build before, so you're in for a real treat. I call this POPSICLE KNIGHT's ultimate devolution combo. We're going to center our strategy on Banette's ability of devolution. Basically, when you evolve a Shuppet from your hand into Banette, you can devolve one of your opponent's benched evolved Pokemon. And that's pretty much all we're using Banette for. I will be using a 2-2 line of Banette in this deck. Devolving your opponent's Pokemon is good because it makes their Pokemon weaker in a sense, but the thing is, our opponent can just evolve their Pokemon back on their turn. So I thought of a way to get rid of that evolution Pokemon from our opponent's hand. So we will be using a 3-3 line of this Malamar with the Hypnotic Rain attack. For just one Dark Energy, you can look at your opponent's hand and you can discard any one Pokemon you see there and use one of that Pokemon's attack, that is a non-GX, as Malamar's attack. So whether it's an evolution Pokemon or not, you can discard it and copy one of its non-GX attack. This can be an extremely powerful attack. So that's what our main strategy will be for this deck. Use Banette's ability to devolve our opponent's benched Pokemon, and then use Malamar to discard that evolution card while using one of its attack to do damage to the active. Another challenge is if your opponent's evolved Pokemon is in the active, then Banette's ability will not work. That's why we have 2 copies of Phione to push back our opponent's active to the bench using its Whirlpool Suction ability. Oftentimes though, our opponent may not have any Pokemon in their hand at all, so Hypnotic Rain Malamar will be left defenseless and its attack will have no effect. That's why I've added a 2-2 line of Malamar VMAX to help with offense. But its Max Jammer attack also pairs nicely with Banette's ability. But unlike the other Malamar, Max Jammer puts any one card you find in your opponent's hand on the bottom of their deck. Not as good as Hypnotic Rain, but it's very disruptive too. You can put the evolution Pokemon on the bottom of the deck. As for the other Pokemon in this deck, I have 2 Snorlax with Gourmandize ability, which lets us draw cards until we have 7 in our hand. While it ends our turn, it's good for consistency. I also have 1 copy of Crobat with its Dark Acid ability, and 1 Giratina with Dimension Breach ability, so we can get rid of special energy from our opponent's active. I found this very useful in so many matchups, so I've included one. As for the rest of the deck, we have a full set of Evolution Incense, 2 Ordinary Rod, a full set of Quick Ball, a full set of Scoop Up Net. This is especially helpful to get our Banette out of our bench and re-evolve it so that we can use its ability multiple times, and also to get Snorlax out of the active. Next we have 3 Switch, 1 Lavender Town Stadium so that we can peek into our opponent's hand, 2 Boss's Orders, 1 Cynthia and Caitlyn, 2 Marnie, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Skyla, 2 Memory Capsule. I have this one mainly for Malamar VMAX because I want to be able to use Malamar V's attack like Drag Off to switch our opponents, and Brain Shake so we can confuse our opponents. As for energy, I have 4 Capture Energy. This is also good for getting a Phione, 4 Hiding Energy, and 4 Basic Dark Energy. So this deck is really good against decks that use evolution Pokemon VMAXs and things. I gotta admit though, if our opponent uses a lot of basic Pokemon, this deck will not do well against it, but it will put up a good fight. And that's pretty much it for the deck. Please watch carefully how I intended to use the combo between Banette, Malamar, and Phione. It's really cool to see. But enough talk, let's see some gameplay. Alright, so this particular build that I have in this matchup, I don't have Malamar VMAX yet, but between Malamar and Banette, it actually works out pretty well in this matchup. So we're gonna put Snorlax in the active so that we're ready to use Gourmandize, and we have Inkay on our bench, and our opponent is using Jirachi Amazing Rare. So we have Lavender Town Stadium all set to go. We have Marnie, which is good. We can energize our Inkay right away, and most likely we're just gonna Gourmandize for our turn. Alright, so we are fighting against a Coalossal VMAX deck. So definitely you know, fighting off against VMAX is really tough, especially a lot of our dark Pokemon is weak against fighting type. And you know, the fact that we're not using any VMAXs or any GX in this deck, this particular build, you know, makes this matchup even more challenging. So we're just gonna use Lavender Town so we can peek into our opponent's hands, and I think I'm just gonna Marnie for the meantime. That will lessen our cards so we can use Gourmandize and get ourselves a few more cards in the process. Yeah, so we can look into our opponent's hand. Okay, they have a Fion. Let's just Gourmandize here. We get 2 cards, and Obstagoon is actually still in this particular build because I was experimenting on being able to go up against basic type matchups. So if our opponent uses only basic type like ADP-zation, usually paired with the Obstagoon actually works really well. So if we are not fighting against Evolution deck, then we usually just win instantly once we set up the Obstagoon really quick. So that's when I just wanted to showcase this one because it really matches perfectly because it's a dark type build. So obviously the final build that I was able to showcase does not have Obstagoon, but that's definitely an option or a nice combination to be put in this particular build. Okay, so our opponent's been building up a lot of their play here. So now they have 2 Coalossal Vs on their bench. They also have Oranguru to switch out so that when they use the first attack of Coalossal VMAX, it can do 130 damage or more. And they end their turn. Okay, so Giratina is going to be a good match or a good Pokemon here because Coalossal uses a lot of special type energy, so we can use that. Unfortunately, Giratina, without realizing it, Giratina does not discard any energy from the bench. It has to be the active. So I made a little mistake there. So I'm just gonna use a quick ball, and then we're gonna get our Shuppet all set up, and we're just gonna use the Ordinary Rod because I plan on using Professor's Research. Okay, and let's just put an energy back on Inkay, and then we can set up our Obstagoon in case we need it. So we'll just put 1 damage there and then Gourmandize again. So we have a Shuppet all set to go. So if they do evolve into Coalossal VMAX, we can just evolve it. And we have an Evolution Incense so that we can get Malamar and get rid of that VMAX once we devolve. We just gotta make sure that it stays in the bench. Okay, so they're gonna switch into Coalossal V, and they're gonna put an air balloon on Jirachi, and they're gonna Professor's Research. Okay. And there it is. They evolve into Coalossal VMAX. They're gonna use Crushing Hammer. So that's it for Snorlax. There's no way Snorlax can survive this one because it is weak against fighting type. And now they have 2 Coalossal VMAXs all set to go. They're gonna get a dead Dedenne off of that quick ball. Okay, Eruption Shot. Oh, okay. They didn't set up an energy on their top deck, so that actually makes Snorlax, you know, it gives him another turn, which is good for us. So I think I'm just gonna use Banette here. Devolve the Coalossal VMAX on the bench. You know, I'm still getting used to this at this point. So remember, Banette only devolves the one in the bench. So this is one of my few matchups that I was playing this. So still getting used to the effects of the cards. So we're just gonna evolve into Malamar here, and I'm gonna scoop up Banette so that we can reuse it in our next turn. For the meantime, I can use Hypnotic Rain, get rid of Coalossal VMAX, and use the Gmax Boulder attack, which does 220, which is not bad, you know, for a single prizer. And we get rid of their VMAX, so that's good. Obviously our Malamar is not gonna survive this turn here. Okay, well, they did Fion, so Malamar will survive. They're targeting the Snorlax, I guess, but we have another one on our hands, so we can definitely use another Snorlax to use Gourmandize if we needed to. But we just need to switch out this Coalossal VMAX so that we can devolve it. They're going to use buff padding on the other Coalossal V, and they're going to use Professor's Research. Okay. So we have Obstagoon. The Obstruct Obstagoon is not going to be too useful in this matchup because they are using Evolution, of course. Coalossal VMAX. So now they're fully energized. If they have a Pokemon in their hand, we can possibly knock out this Coalossal VMAX. But for now, we're just gonna Gourmandize. I also had a black market in this particular build, but setting up black market wasn't too useful, I think, in many of my matchups, so I had to get rid of that one and just settled for one Lavender Town. And it was, you know, I had too much in my deck build already, so I couldn't really fit in any more cards that I would have liked to have, but they weren't really necessary. So our Snorlax gets knocked out. I'm just gonna put this black market in play, and I mean, we can scoop up Giratina to get rid of that one energy, but let's just evolve Banette, devolve the Coalossal VMAX, and we can just energize another Malamar, and we have an Evolution Incense to use that one anyway. So let's just scoop up Banette again, and we're just gonna set up another Malamar, you know, for our next turn, because this Malamar definitely is not gonna survive. So we can, I mean, ooh, they have Galarian Surfetch, but let's just get rid of the VMAX. That's the most dangerous one, and we do 220 on this one as well. So we just have to keep up. I mean, they have a lot of Pokemon in their hand, so once our Malamar gets set up here, we can KO this VMAX in the active. So, and if they retreat with it, we can use Banette and just evolve it. So they're gonna use Eruption Shot. Okay. Alright, so we can switch out. Yeah, we can switch into Malamar. We can retreat freely anyways if we need to. Let's we can set up an Obstagoon. Oh, and I also have a Galarian Persian here, or not, Alolan Persian, because a lot of decks use a lot of special energy now, especially so we're just gonna use Hypnotic Rain here and knock out this Coalossal VMAX, you know, and get rid of the other Coalossal V from their hands. So Hypnotic Rain, man, it's really powerful attack. But yeah, as I was saying, when we fight against, for example, Mad Party decks, they use a lot of special energy. So Alolan Persian really goes well with this deck as well. So basically, this first matchup, this build, if we can just put all of these in one deck and we had enough room, I would. But the final build, I just had to do without a lot of these. So, but this is definitely one of the builds that goes really well with the Malamar, Hypnotic Rain, and Banette Vivid Voltage combo. So now our opponent is using Galarian Surfetched here. Obviously our Malamar is not gonna survive this attack. So we could get yeah, I think I'm just gonna put Meowth in the active, and we can use Zigzagoon and put 1 damage there. Still has a few more HP. And we can use Cynthia and Caitlyn, get rid of 1 energy. And we can use Marnie. We can get Marnie. We need to get our Hypnotic Rain Malamar back into the deck though. And if we can evolve into Persian, we can be immune to all of their attacks if we can get an evolution for it. So let's just put another energy here, so in case we can evolve into an Obstagoon, then we'll be okay. Let's just switch out into the Zigzagoon, you know, sacrifice that for the meantime. I mean, Surfetch can't attack right now unless they retreat with it. We don't have to use Banette because they don't have any evolution in their bench. So, all right, they're gonna Marnie. They have 4 cards left in their deck, so we're almost there. Gonna use Crushing Hammer. Okay. They have a Dedenne, but their bench is full, so they can't really use that. Okay, so they pass. They can't attack. They can't do anything. And now, what are our options? We can use Professor's Research or Bird Keeper. It's taking a chance. If we switch into Meowth, we're taking a chance whether or not we get the Persian. So Professor's Research, I think, is our best option, but we still don't get anything. I think I'm just gonna scoop up net this guy so we can get rid of 1 special energy, and we're gonna scoop it up again, get rid of another special energy, and I think we're gonna be okay. Alright, so our opponent gives up. Dude, we're fighting against Little Dark Fury. Oh man, I'm a big fan. Hello, Little Dark Fury. Yeah, so if you didn't know, LDF actually inspired me to do a lot of these videos too, because a lot of competitive decks, they usually just play the same decks over and over, but playing a variety, LDF, actually I watch a lot of his videos too, really good. So I'm excited to play this match. We're probably gonna lose this one, but we're gonna do our best. But so we are fighting against fighting deck, and they are using let's see, we can get rid of Marnie for now. All of them looks pretty good, so we're just gonna get a Snorlax, and we're gonna switch out so we can use Gourmandize. I mean, we can use Quick Ball. We can get rid of Professor's Research, I think, because we're gonna Gourmandize anyways, and we're just gonna start setting up Inkay Malamar and attach an energy on it. We're gonna Gourmandize. Alright, cool. So we got a lot of nice Pokemon off of that one. So they're gonna use Quick Ball, and Stonjourner is gonna be the primary attacker of our opponent's deck. They're gonna Marnie us though, so unfortunately we lose a lot of the good Pokemon in our hand. So I'm a little nervous with this matchup. Get another energy. I think we have to use Skyla, and I'm just gonna get another Quick Ball because we need to set up another basic Pokemon. Get rid of that Scoop Up Net. We can get a Malamar V, but I think Crobat V would be better because we can get more on our hand. So we have a Malamar, which is good. Let's evolve with that, and we don't have to use Memory Capsule because that's only for Malamar V. I think I'm just gonna Gourmandize even though it's just for 2. Alright, we get more energy off of that. What we could do here is possibly use Scoop Up Net to get Snorlax out of the active. And we can start using Malamar because they just Gourmandized. I'm hoping maybe there's a Pokemon in that hand of theirs. I mean, we could take a chance doing that. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna attach an energy on Crobat, and then we can put Snorlax back into the bench. So, hey, we get a compliment from Little Dark Fury. So Hypnotic Rain, sure enough, Stonjourner VMAX is there, and we're gonna use Max Rockfall to get rid of this Snorlax. I mean, Stonjourner V on their bench is already all set to go. We will lose this Malamar, so I think LDF still has he still has the upper hand because he can continuously attack while we cannot. So if alright, so they evolve. Okay, so I think he knows what we're what we're doing here. So he gets rid of our Shuppet. Now we can't evolve or devolve. I think I'm just gonna use Snorlax into the active. We get a Malamar V, which is good, and we're just gonna attach Memory Capsule and start energizing that. That's gonna be our next best option to attack. We'll use Quick Ball and Inkay or Shuppet. No, it's so hard to decide. I think we'll just get Shuppet. We have Malamar already, so Shuppet is the best option. Oh, dude, this is the best hand, and this is what I mean with this combo. So we got all the recipe here of the best combo you can ever have. So if they knock out our Snorlax, we can promote our Hypnotic Rain Malamar into the active. Use Capture Energy and energize our Malamar VMAX and get ourselves a Fion. Since they only have 2 Pokemon, that will push Stonjourner back into the bench. Evolve into Banette, devolve that, Boss's Order Stonjourner V back into the active and use the attack against it. So here we go. Let's just wait and see. Oh man, good thing they use Cynthia and Caitlyn. Otherwise, if they Marnie our hand, that's it. So let's do that. We'll put Malamar into the active, evolve into Malamar VMAX, energize Malamar VMAX while getting a Fion. And then we can Fion first, put this Stonjourner VMAX into the bench, use Banette to devolve Stonjourner VMAX, and then use Boss's Orders, and then use Hypnotic Rain, get rid of Stonjourner VMAX, and then use Max Rockfall against Stonjourner V. Oh my gosh, 200 damage. Now we get rid of the VMAX. Well, we didn't knock it out, but still, you gotta admit that was a really nice combo. Now imagine if that was like a Charizard VMAX or something. Do 300 damage with 1 Dark Energy with Malamar, dude. That would be epic. I gotta admit though, you won't be able to use that combo more than a few times during a game, but you know, it feels good when it works. So meanwhile, our Malamar VMAX is all set to go. We can put 1 energy on it. We get another Malamar V, which is really good. Let's put this energy there. We can spare a Malamar, so we'll use Professor's Research. We'll have to set up another Hypnotic Rain Malamar for sure. So let's use Ordinary Rod and get a line back, a Malamar line back into our deck. Get an energy back into our deck. So that's good. I think all we could do is attack. I mean, Indeedee is weak against Dark, so we can either Boss's Order it or just continue to attack Stonjourner. We can Brain Shake and confuse it, but if they evolve, it's gonna be pointless. We can Max Jammer instead. They do take less damage. I think Evolution Incense would be the best thing to put in the bottom of their deck, because without that they can't evolve the Stonjourner VMAX unless they have something on their top deck. Okay, they're gonna continue to heal and they're gonna Marnie. Okay, they could get a VMAX off of this Marnie. Let's see. Okay, cool. So we got an Inkay. Good thing Malamar is not weak against fighting, you know. That's so good. So let's just evolve into Malamar VMAX. And we can use Capture Energy. Oh, oh no! He gave up LDF, why? Good game. Banette is a very interesting Pokemon with its unique ability to devolve benched Pokemon. Then, if you pair that with Hypnotic Rain Malamar and Malamar VMAX, this deck can be very powerful and disruptive. I'm so proud of originating this particular build. This deck is definitely a fun deck to play. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.